Hi, everybody. It's Doug from Shiloh Place Ministries, and coming to you with just a video interview, just a conversation with Trisha Frost. And we are coming to you live from her, well, probably not live, but from her studio, aka brand new pub table that we really like, and we decided it would be great for the shoot. So we just pulled up to it, and we're going to just talk a little bit about life and what's going on with Trisha and Shiloh Place in general, and just to answer some questions that come in from all around the world as to why we do what we do and what the importance is of what we do. And Trisha, just tell us a little bit about what's happening right now. You've got some exciting news upcoming for August for a new little one in the family, and so just share with us some of that.
Well, let me say up front, Doug, you know how much I love a video shoot. I absolutely hate video shoots, but I really do love communicating with our supporters and just with people that are just living their lives and they want more. You know, they want to be more than what they're doing right now today. So anyway, I do love you. I wish all of you guys were just right here with us, and I could just sit here and just talk to you and just share my heart and
cook
all.
Dinner maybe.
Yeah, cook dinner. That would be good. We could grill out some good stuff and all, but we're not. And so I'm just gonna, as you ask me questions, I'm just gonna share. We're gonna try to make this just as natural as we can. We also have my dog here. He's decided that he wants to be a part of this. So. We just want to be comfortable because we want you guys to be comfortable. We want you to know that this isn't a fake thing for us. The only reason we're doing this is because we want to communicate with you guys. We want to let you guys know what's going on at Shiloh Place, what's going on personally in our lives. How is the message working? Because if this message isn't working with us and our family, there's no way we can give it to the world. Right. But it's working. I like Doug. I love hanging out with my son-in-law, a.k.a. executive director. We do have a good time as this family. Yeah. And because we're so willing to bring healing to our family and to each other, for whatever reason, God's just allowing us to go all kinds of places we've never been. And it's exciting. You know, life really is exciting. It's not boring. I'm not some little old widower sitting around just doing nothing and playing shuffleboard.
That's right.
I love what I do. Good. And I love number 6 grandbaby is fixing to come into the world. We're heading out to California in August. On the way out, we hope to be in some churches and see some of you guys. And on the way back, we're going to be stopping in Colorado and see some people. And so it just keeps going. I mean, life keeps happening as we keep pursuing passion, you know, relationship with a loving Father. You know, it's not a ministry I do, it's a life I live.
Right. And
I love it. I love it.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some of that then.
Okay.
The burning question seems to be the common question everywhere you go is, why? Jesus did what he did for us. We're saved, restored. Why do we still need healing? What is it that needs healing still?
Well, we're still flesh. You know, every day I'm put in situations to where I have to deal with people's flesh. I have to deal with people's choices. And you know what? They have to deal with my response. You know, and I'm not a saint yet. So I have choices to make. I'm either going to respond to you out of love, or I'm going to respond to you out of unhealed pain or out of my woundedness that I haven't dealt with. So my journey still is and will always be to continue to allow God to come into those places that I haven't, you know, my woundedness, the places where he hasn't put his light on, or he hasn't said, Trisha, deal with that, you know. So I'm dealing with what he's telling me to deal with, and it's bringing healing. Okay, did Jesus die for that once and for all? Of course he did. But Paul says that daily we have to renew our mind. Daily we have to die to flesh. And you know what? Daily I have to. Because daily I find new situations, I find new people that are dealing with their woundedness, their entangled, you know, just life happens. Yes. Good or bad, life happens.
Life is full of opportunities.
Exactly.
And some people present more opportunities than others.
Exactly. And most of the time, those people that present the most opportunities are our family.
The ones closest
right
to
now
us.
It's our dog Goliath that keeps whining in the background, but we're going to just incorporate this in what we're doing. So.
But we adopted Goliath, and he is a son. In
He
the
is a
family now.
son. He is not. Well, he never has been anything but a son, but he's so social. He wants everybody to know he's here.
Okay, so I see. Well, I understand. I have a flesh man that still needs to be dealt with. I've had, probably because I've not had tools my whole life, so I'm in this situation. How do I begin to deal with the unbound, with the entanglements to become unbound?
Well, I think the first step for any of us is to recognize that we have issues. Pride came into the world whenever Adam and Eve. I'm not going to preach a sermon on pride, I promise. But bottom line, unconfessed sin still reigns in our hearts sometimes. And that unconfessed sin comes in the form of woundedness. You come into my life, a family member or a person in my life, and if your woundedness brings pain into my life and I respond to that pain, then I get entangled in what we call a cycle of pain. And when I start thinking about how bad you wounded me, it sends me into negative thinking patterns, that'll open up darkness into my life. And when we allow enough darkness in our life, honestly, we set ourselves up for demonic oppression. Did Jesus die for that? He died for all of that. But bottom line, Jesus died 2,000 years ago for everything I would deal with. And he knows all of this. But today, I have to deal with the woundedness that people bring into my life. I see woundedness every day. People live life, and people, your kids are going to grow up. And Doug, you're one of the best dads I've ever seen in my life. But do you think Emma and Evie, do you really think they're going to grow up with no pain in their life?
I doubt it.
Okay, so what you going to do about it? What you going to do? You're going to love them. You're going to love them right now unconditionally, just as they grow, as they develop their own issues. You're going to love them. And as you love them, it creates an environment to where they're willing to say, you know what? I got this issue. I got this entanglement in my life, but I know a safe place. I know a place in my Father's arms where I can go and I can get healing. And I think that's what Shiloh Place is all about. It's creating an environment to where, number one, people feel safe enough that they can come and say, you know what? I've hurt my family. I've got this issue in my life. I don't know where it came from. I don't know how to deal with it, but somebody told me about you, or somebody told me about one of your books, and I want help. So it goes back to people need hope.
Yes.
We're living in a world of hopelessness, and people are looking for hope. They're just looking for love. They're looking for value that they don't have to perform for.
I look at it sometimes like Jesus died on the cross and did the ultimate sacrifice, so that there was no more need to sacrifice to atone for sin.
Right.
But we as people, we've ingrained habits, like you said, into the way we respond to situations in life, which cause us to sin repeatedly. Now, the sin's taken care of. Of course the sin's taken care of. But that habit that we've developed and the pattern and the way of thinking is where we need to get straight, unless we want to continue to sin in our reactions. Huh?
Well, habits continue. I mean, habits bring us to a point to where we have a choice to make whether we're going to sin again or not. Yes, Jesus died for everything, but he died so that I could have a place of confession. Right. That I could bring my unconfessed sin to the cross. Is he mad at me? I mean, all of us every day have sin in our life. You know what? I don't focus on my sin. I don't focus on my bad behavior. What I focus on is my relationship with love. Because I don't want to hurt Jesus. I don't want to grieve my Heavenly Father. And out of that relationship, I definitely don't want to hurt my kids. Right. I don't want to create another generation of orphans, of people that live in their woundedness because they don't have any other wisdom or knowledge. They know they're saved, but for so many people, that's as far as it gets. Right. They're saved.
Yeah. Sometimes it's personal responsibility. Sometimes there's a fine line between performance and personal responsibility. And
consequences.
And personal responsibility would be, hey, I need to be responsible for these actions and the way I'm in my behavior patterns, and to affect change. And then the Lord can even bring healing in those places and help us develop that.
See, Doug's got a revelation of this. Isn't that great?
Well,
Let me say something right there, just a minute, though. the neat thing about you, Doug, is that because you have a revelation, it's not a revelation in your head, but as I watch you live daily your life, you take that revelation home to your wife first, and then your girls. And you know, I mean, I love your girls. They're my grandbabies. But even at 4 and 3, I'm watching them develop and making choices. Okay, you know, how am I going to respond to this? You know, or how far can I test mommy and daddy? Yeah. And the difference in you and Sarah is you don't respond the way you used to. You don't respond out of your woundedness anymore. And so we're trying to create an environment to where so many people realize, hey, you know, the Frost family, they're not just pretending that this brought healing to their family. And wow, if it can happen for them, it can happen for my family.
Yeah.
And so we get to live there.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're just amazing people. We really are. But not because we strove to get there. The only thing we did was decide we want a relationship that's based on love, and we're not going to focus on our woundedness. We're going to deal with it.
Yeah.
So what you said.
It just got to the point where it was like, can't do this anymore.
No, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to hurt anything but my dog who keeps whining.
that sweet little slobber factory you call dog.
Goliath spot.
All of that brings me to this place, though, because we're talking about healing and getting to that point. Can you live free of hurt?
No, absolutely not. Nobody, I don't care, even Jesus Christ himself, when he laid down his Godhead and came to this earth, he was presented time and time and time. He was given opportunity to focus on pain, to focus on, I mean, my gosh, they put him on a cross, you know, and what did he say? Forgive them. I would have been up there going, okay, God, when I get to heaven, make my list.
Strike them down.
You know, boy, I've been praying the David Psalms, you know, the ones like, eat their flesh, God. Send the dogs. Send the dogs, God, or whatever. But Father, you know, we're living in a dispensation of grace. And so many people don't like grace. And the reason they don't like grace is because they've never understood it. They've never had an environment created for them. You know, I'm not talking about sloppy agape. I'm not talking about that people don't have to live, you know, we have to live with our consequences. Yeah. You know, we really and truly do. But I'd rather have consequences of grace to where I'm living in humility and I'm living in love and I'm making choices to love people and understand their pain. I used to focus on your pain and right away I would wipe you out. You know what? I don't have time for him. I'm just far enough away from him. But now God sends us people with so much pain. And what we do is we just realize, okay, they're living out of their woundedness. You know, and they've developed negative habit patterns, and that negative habit patterns has gone, you know, into a place of darkness to where they've made choices to live in that dark consequence. But you know what? There's security, there's light, there's different. It's a different lifestyle to live this way. Yeah.
You said something in there. We'll pick up. I want to pick up in the next video about the sloppy agape and just how graceful was Jesus. Yeah. And we should talk about that in a future video. But I think that's it for today. We just wanted to introduce you know, this segment, this series of videos that we're going to do, and we're going to focus on the book. If you don't have the book, Unbound, Breaking Free from Life's Entanglements by Jack and Trisha Frost. Run out and get it, because it's a manual for freedom? Is that what Bill called it? Bill called it a manual for freedom. So we love you guys, and we look forward to seeing you on the road in Myrtle Beach at a church. The Unbound School is coming up in September 18th through 22nd here in Myrtle Beach. Sign up for it. Mark Verkler will be here with us, a special guest to do Communion with God teaching. And so just bless you guys, and we'll see you soon.